The girl was just about to go home when she was surrounded by something. Fortunately, she heard her brother's instructions and slashed directly into the air. But her sword was covered in a green liquid. Then she saw her brother throw a rock and looked through the hole in the rock and realized that she was surrounded by a group of toadstools. But even though she had been practicing with a sword since she was a child, she couldn't cope with such a large number of enemies. Fortunately, she was pulled into the shield by her brother and believed what he had said about the elves. When they got to the roof, they realized they were surrounded by toadstools. When they learned that the monster's goal was the magic book in his hand, his sister was devastated and said she would hand it over. When she didn't want to hear that, an angry elf suddenly came out and scared the girl so much that she stomped on it, only to be stopped by her brother, who told her to go get the honey right away. The frightened sister could only obey her brother's order. After drinking the honey, the elf turned into a lovely girl. Then she learned from the elf that if she handed over the magic book, everyone would be killed by the ogres. When the second brother heard this, he suggested burning the book, so they threw it into the fire in front of the collapsing monsters. This attracted a crow, which was obviously an ogre. Seeing that his master was alarmed, the toadstool leader softly persuaded him, but the boy could not believe them and threw the book into the fire, making the crow madly banging on the protective shield. But when the fire burned out, the book was unharmed, and its temperature didn't even change. So the two boys didn't know what to do, but it was clear that this had angered the monsters so much that they decided to wait outside the shield. The children could only go to the elves to discuss what to do, but they could not do anything. Their only hope was to go to the owner of the house, the children's aunt. Luckily, the genie knew a secret passageway, and for this reason, eldest brother made a pair of glasses for his sister so that she could see the invisible monsters. So the second brother drew the monster's attention from the front door, while the sister and brother sneaked into the secret passage from the back door. Unexpectedly, the toadstool's sense of smell is so sensitive that it can smell the odor in the underground passage, so it still chased after the two of them, and even found a fierce lizard monster in order to dig the hole quickly. Luckily, the two of them ran fast enough to finally escape from the passageway, but did not know that the two children had just arrived in the city when their mother was at work saw them. The second brother, who stayed at home, was also not idle and learned from an ancient book that toadstools were afraid of ketchup, so he made a batch of tomato bombs. Finally, the siblings saw their aunt hiding in the nursing home and told her what happened. After hearing this, the old lady let go of her heart and spoke to the flowers, not wanting to see many flower fairies flying out of the pots the next moment. But when the boy took out the magic book, immediately scared the old lady, confused and rushed to bring the two children into the house, and then from the old lady's mouth to learn about her tragic experience.